Okay, we're back. And that's the beauty of a live webcast. As I said, all the books are available at Barnes & Noble a brick. And if you go to Barnes & Noble, and if you're like Megan and I, you buy a lot of books in a year,
Right.
it would be prudent to become a Barnes & Noble member. Membership gives you discounts.
Right.
Okay. So when you're a member, it costs $25 for a year, you get 40% off of all bestsellers. So Glenn Beck, bestseller, 40% off. Her Fearful Symmetry, bestseller, 40% off. Adult hardcovers, next book we're going to talk about, adult hardcover, 20% off. Everything else in the store, magazines, cafe, paperbacks, 10% off.
Right.
So think about how many times a month you're in that store, how many books you read in a year, how many Christmas gifts you're going to buy.
Or school books.
Or school books, textbooks. There we go. It would be prudent to spend $25, be a Barnes & Noble member, get that card, get those discounts, and plus, what else?
Plus you get $50 in coupons.
$50 in coupons.
In your email.
That's right. So give them your email. When you come into Barnes & Noble and we say, give us your email, we're not going to sell that. That's so you can get coupons every week.
Right.
That'll give you additional discounts. So
I kind of describe it as a Costco membership, but for books.
that's a good way to do it. Costco for books. Even if you only come in a few times a year.
That's true.
It really pays off to be a member. Okay, next up, one of my favorite books. This is by Dr. Frank Luntz. It's called What Americans Really Want, Really, and the Truth About Our Hopes, Dreams, and Fears. The first book I read by Dr. Luntz was a book called Words That Work, and I found that very exciting. He talked about how the phrases we use promote an item, brand an item, make people respond to an item. As a consultant to the Bush administration, he was a key consultant in changing the term drilling for oil
Right.
to exploring for energy. Sounds different. Okay. Also, he was an advisor when he talked about.
He's famous.
He's famous. He's famous.
CEOs want him to do surveys for
That's
their
right.
company.
CEOs for the Fortune 500 companies
love him.
view him as the go-to guy
Right.
when it comes to branding their companies.
Yeah.
And this book is based on a decade of interviews, research.
Well, wait, I was reading. He interviewed over 25,000 people in this book.
That's right.
For this book. Or surveyed, or telephone polls.
25,000 face-to-face
Right.
interviews.
Oh, it's amazing.
And over 1 million people in telephone polls.
Yeah.
Over 10 years. So, Frank Luntz has his finger on the pulse of America. He knows what people want, what people are thinking, what's important to them, and how you can reach your market.
Well, it's crucial now in our economic times about what people are really trending towards.
That's right.
You know, so.
And it costs tens of thousands of dollars to have Frank Luntz speak at your company or come and be a consultant at your company. But for $24.95, less 20%, you can have all that knowledge right here in this book at your hands.
Yes, you can.
And whether you own a company, work for a company, whether you're in sales, in marketing, or deal with the public in any way, I think the information in this book is very valuable. And in the book, I'm not going to tell you what they are, but Dr. Luntz talks about 5 things that Americans really want. And I think it would be prudent for everybody in business to know this.
Right.
The other thing he talked about that I liked in Words That Work were, instead of global warming, he called it climate change. Less threatening. That's the way to put a softer spin on some things.
He's a spin doctor.
He is the king of spin doctors. The spin doctor czar, you could say. Okay. President Obama said just last year that when Frank Luntz asked you to talk to one of his focus groups,
Yeah.
you talk to his focus group. That's how important he is in what he says. So, if you're in business or you work for a business, and we're going to talk about business books every week,
Okay.
except for next week, this is one you need to read.
Yeah, if you're in the market to sell something or you're looking to market something, this is the book to buy.
That's right.
Because it's really key.
And every business is really in the communication business. So if communication is important to you, Frank Luntz has the answer to how to put the right twist on your words. So recommend it very strongly. Okay, up next.
Oh.
One of Megan's choices.
Oh, my Suki.
7 books.
This is the new box set. All 7 titles, besides the new one that is still in stores and in
That's right.
hardcover.
In hardcover.
But if you know who Stackhouse is, you will know these Charlene Harris books. They are famous. You have the True Blood series on HBO.
Right.
It's about a small town waitress. She falls in love with a vampire, and it's just a whole. It's humorous. It's witty. It's funny. Fans of the True Blood show on HBO, they're gonna love this series.
Right.
Definitely.
Now, we talked about this before the show. This is not really a teenage book.
I mean, I wouldn't let my 12-year-old read it.
Okay. 17-year-old?
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. There is some romance. It gets a little explicit in some of the books.
I would say yes, definitely.
So the 13
If you're
or 14.
a fan of Eric, check out book 4.
Okay.
Eric Northman.
But if your daughter's 14 years old, you're just finishing the 4 books in the Twilight series, it may not be the next book in line for her.
No, definitely not.
Okay.
Definitely not.
But it is an adult book, and it is exciting.
Yes,
and,
it is.
Suki Stackhouse
Right?
I found this very interesting. She's psychic,
Right?
right? She can read minds.
Yes.
And she has a fairy blood.
She has
in her
fairy
family
blood,
line?
but we don't find that out till later.
Okay, so I don't want to give too much away. Don't want to give too much away, all right?
Don't give too much away. I dressed up as her for Halloween last year.
I'll have to get a picture next week for that. I think I have a picture of that. Yeah.
You do on the website.
On the website. On the Facebook. We'll definitely have that picture for sale on eBay this week. So.
Well, this is a great box set for anyone who really likes the show. Even though it's not like the TV show, it's worth reading the books.
And you need to read them in order. It's a series.
You have to read them in order. They're funny. They're not gory, but they're blends of like witty, dry humor.
Yeah, it's really got it. It's got romance. It's got vampires, and a little funny twist.
Well, werewolves too.
Werewolves.
Yeah.
Fairies.
It's got everything. Towards the end of the books.
And the reason we brought in the box set is not everyone knows that they're available in a set of 7.
Right.
This, it's kind of premature, but this is a great Christmas gift, or a great gift for birthday.
Actually, this is 8. This one's 8, right? Yep.
8.
This is the 8. The
And
ninth one
ninth
we
one
have the hardcover.
is in hardcover. Okay, so you can buy the box set and the 9th book.
Right.
Okay. And in a couple of weeks, we're going to do a show as we get closer to holidays. This is Megan's idea. The best box sets to buy.
Right.
We'll feature maybe 6 or 7 different box sets, so you know what's available. And box sets are a great thing for Christmas.
Definitely.
Great thing.
Definitely.
And it's nice also when you're done, you keep the box. It's a collector's box, pictures, nice little gift.
And you can save with your Barnes & Noble membership on that box set too.
That's right.
10%.
10%.
Yes.
10% on the box set. Okay, so that's our 6 books for this week. A couple things about next week. Next week we're going to do our theme's going to be
All fiction.
all
titles.
fiction. Different types of fiction. We're going to do romance, mystery, science fiction, mainstream
Historical fiction.
historical fiction. Okay, we're going to pick 6 different fiction books, different genres in fiction.
Okay.
And that's going to be our theme for next week. So, on Friday night, Megan and I are both in the store at Barnes & Noble. If you'd like us to feature a book that you enjoy on the Bookworm, stop in and see us.
Yeah.
And we'll
we would
certainly
love to
consider
hear
your
from
book.
you.
Also next week, very important, tune in right at 7 o'clock, because we're going to open the show with a contest. We're going to read the first line of 3 well-known novels.
Okay.
And we're going to give you our email address. And if you email us the names of those 3 novels, you'll be in a drawing to win a $25, that's $25 gift card to Barnes & Noble. It's pretty nice, right?
That's very nice.
Okay, all you got to do is be a reader. You'll recognize it's not going to be obscure novels. It'll be novels that everyone knows. We're going to read 3 famous first lines. And once you recognize them, write them down, email them to us. You'll go into the drawing and we'll announce who the winner is in the following week.
That's great.
Okay, so that's exciting. All right. Thanks for joining us on tomsriver.tv. We're here every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. And we look forward to seeing you. Stop in Friday night. Megan and I are both in the store Friday night, Barnes & Noble and Brick. We'd love to meet you and hear about your favorite book. So thank you, and we'll see you next week.
Good night.
Good night.